Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah. In today's Pilates session, we're going to be doing 30 minutes of stretching. You won't need any equipment, just yourself and a mat or a comfortable space to work on. And we're going to be starting in a seated position. So whenever you're ready, take yourself to one end of your mat with space behind you. Let's sit tall with the shoulders above the hips. Raise the arms up, breathe in. Exhale to engage the core, so draw the navel in and up towards the rib cage, coming back slowly into supine. Let's have a full body stretch. Flex the ankles to stretch out the calf muscles, then bring the arms down by your sides and pop the feet onto the floor. So knees and feet are hip width apart. This is a crook position. Let's relax the shoulders and the pelvis. You can close your eyes if you like, but let's just breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to be engaging the core next. We do this on an out breath, so the next time you breathe out, just gently draw the navel in towards the spine. Keep it there as you start to rock the pelvis very gently forwards and backwards. So as you tip the pelvis backwards, that's you tucking your tailbone under. Let's keep drawing the navel towards the spine. As you tip forward with the pelvis, it creates a little bit of a gap between the lower back and the floor. Okay, so start small in terms of range of movement, and you can always build up that range of movement as you go. Just being mindful of any areas that might feel a bit tender or a little bit sore around the lower back. Always listen to the body. Now we're going up into the shoulder bridge. Okay, so we do this as we tuck the tailbone under. You start to unpeel the spine, working your way towards the shoulders, and then back down again. So we come up vertebra by vertebra and down the same way. This is sequential control of the spine. Try and make sure you keep the rib cage relaxed as you come up. We squeeze the glutes. Lovely. So the shoulders, hips and knees should all be in a nice line. Let's take those arms back. So now when you roll down, you get that lovely extra stretch. This is a really relaxing little exercise to do. So it mobilizes the facet joints of the spine, but also stretches you out around the chest there as well. Exhale up, inhale to come down, slowly and controlled. A really lovely relaxing exercise just to wake up the spine and massage the back. Now we're going to stay up in the bridge here, so if you just keep the tailbone tucked under, cross your arms over your chest, and then you're going to roll down sideways now. So tip the body weight towards the middle of the right shoulder and roll down the right side of the body. Square up the pelvis when you come down, then you roll back up and do the same on the left. So what we're doing is always coming up into the bridge with the back of the pelvis level with the floor, and we're trying to just roll down one side of the back and then up into the bridge again and back down the other side. Always going slowly and controlled. Again, listening to the body. When you come down, just send your knees slightly forward so that you don't scooch towards the top of the mat. It just gives you that extra bit of control. It's just a little technique there. Breathe. Now we're going to be staying down next. So the next time you come down from your bridge, you can relax it right there. Good. Bring those arms down by your sides. And then you're just going to take hold of the knees, give yourself a little hug, draw the knees in, stretch out the lower back there and the glutes. And then if you just want to circle the knees around a couple of times in each direction, massage the lower back. Good. Okay, from here then, we're just going to pop the feet onto the floor, arms down by your sides, but just take them away from the body slightly. Keep the knees and feet hip width apart, and then engage the core the next time you breathe out. So we're going to keep the pelvis really still as you gently drop the left knee out to the side, return it, and then do the same with the right. So left knee out and in, same with the right knee. But when you bring the knee back in, keep it really still so it doesn't wobble around. You've got some stability around the hip, and of course the pelvis, we're keeping that lovely and still so that when you take your knee out to the side, you're not lifting the opposite hip. Everything stays really still, and we draw that stability from the core. Let's give those knees a hug then, and then we're going to circle them again, but this time separately. So you're taking the knees in, out, forward, round and back in again, opposite directions, and then we're going to go the other way. So a bit like doing the breaststroke. Let's keep the pelvis still by pressing the lower back very gently down towards the floor. That's called imprinting. And now you're just going to do the happy baby pose, taking hold of either the ankles or the outside of the feet, just letting the knees gently relax out to the sides, stretching out the inner thighs and relaxing the hips. Okay, arms nice and wide, next palms facing up, feet down. Breathe in and then exhale to engage your core. We're going to do some knee rolls. So we take the knees gently over to the floor on the left, and then we breathe out to roll through center, taking them over to the right. Okay, so using the strength of your core to roll through center as you go from side to side. Again, using the imprinting technique by pressing the lower back very gently towards the floor as you roll through center. Keep the shoulders in contact with the floor. This movement is very much coming from the waist here as we go from side to side in a controlled way with the knees. Lovely stretch around the outside of the body into the obliques. You might feel it around the lower back a little bit there too. Okay, we're coming back to center once again. We're now going to take the right leg and then just cross it over the left leg. Now, a very similar movement. We're going to take the knees over to the floor on the left again, but hold it this time. So still keeping the shoulders in contact with the floor. Feeling that stretch around the back of the pelvis now into your sacroiliac joint. You may or may not feel this. It's different for everyone, but let's roll through center. We're going to do it this again on the other side. So left leg over the right knee, and we're going to the right. Again, keeping the shoulders down. Slowly as you go. Good. Breathe. Keep the core engaged as well. And remember to use your core as you roll back to the center point again. Good. Let's lengthen out both legs now. Take those arms back. Again, full body stretch. Give those ankles a flex as well. Don't forget the calf muscles. Always try and stretch them out. Give those knees a hug. We're going to come to seated using rolling like a ball. So breathe in on your exhale. Nod the chin, roll forward and come to seated. Lovely. Okay, let's sit on the sit bones. Sit up tall, relaxing the shoulders, lifting the breastbone up. And you're just going to take your legs and just widen them out to about mat width will do here. Take the back of the right hand, place it on the inside of the right knee, left hand behind the head, elbow in the peripheral vision. Keeping the spine upright, very gently press your right hand towards the right knee. This will twist you sideways, so you'll turn to the left very gently and you'll feel a bit of a stretch around the chest. Exhale, press and open. Inhale to come back, staying vertical with the spine. Now we're going to start to add a side bend here as well. So flex those ankles. Now this time, as you press into the knee, just slide the fingertips very gently towards the heel. Keep the sit bones down and you'll feel that stretch around the outside of the body. Reaching back and up with the elbow. Keeping the core engaged as well. Good, let's relax those shoulders, give them a roll. We're going to do the same on the other side. So the back of the left hand goes on the inside of the left knee, right hand behind the head, elbow in the peripheral vision, sit tall. So press and open. Exhale to press and open. Inhale to come back. Very gently turning the body. Good. All right, now remember we're going to turn this into the side bend motion. So on this one here, just flex your ankles. You gently press and slide a little further towards the heel of the left foot, keeping the pelvis in place. So you can see from what I'm doing here, my elbow is going round and back and up with the elbow towards the ceiling. Good, you can relax it there. Bring the knees in because oftentimes it can make the hip flexors around the top of the hips there feel a bit tight, so give yourself a little break. Sit on your sit bones. We're going to reach those arms up, breathe in and hinge forward at the hips so you can lay your body over your thighs and bring the feet a little bit closer in. So you're still on your sit bones, we're lengthening through the spine but giving yourself a really nice stretch. From here then, we're just going to stay in seated position but with the legs crossed, back on the sit bones. We sit tall but relax those shoulders. Place the hands behind the head, elbows in the peripheral vision. Let's breathe in to lift the breastbone up. Open up those elbows. Then exhale, tummy button in towards the spine. Tuck the tailbone under, round the upper back and look towards the navel. Breathe in to lift the breastbone. Open up the elbows. And out to flex the spine. Go slowly. Stay lengthened through the spine as we do this. So we're exhaling, tummy button in and up as you tuck your tailbone under. Inhale as you come up, lifting the breastbone, lifting the tailbone also. We're going to do that again, but this time with the arms wide. So we take a breath in. As we exhale, tummy button in and up, reach forward, nod the chin. So open up the shoulder blades. Widen out the arms, lift the breastbone, lift the tailbone and look up. And repeat, going nice and slowly, transitioning through both movements carefully and in a controlled way. Good, really drawing that navel in and up as you go into that lovely flexed position. Beautiful stretch. Give those shoulders a nice roll as well. Now we're going to pop the feet onto the floor. Just widen out the knees, take hold of the ankles, make sure the soles of the feet are facing each other. If you can bring your feet a bit closer in and sit tall, relaxing the shoulders but lift the breastbone and slightly hinge forward. You don't have to go as far forward as I am, you can just go as far as you're comfy to get the stretch around the inner thigh there. Breathe and then sit back tall again. Let's pop those knees back together and then take the legs out in front. We're going to sit tall again, relaxing those shoulders. And then we're going to reach up nice and tall with those arms. Big breath in, exhale, engage the core, nod the chin, reach towards the ankles, rounding the upper back. Take hold of the right ankle and gently come to seated. Lift the breastbone here by relaxing the shoulders. You can put your left foot down if you like, just to help you balance. But let's stretch out the back of that right leg then into the hamstrings. Pointing the toes and flexing the ankles just makes that stretch a little bit more intense. We're gently coming down and taking hold of the left ankle to do the same again. So slowly up into seated, lifting the breastbone and flexing the ankles, pointing the toes. Again, we can pop the right foot down if you prefer, just to help you balance. Let's come back down again. And then just relax the fingertips on the legs. Restack your spine, relaxing the shoulders and coming back to that tall, upright, seated position. Okay, we're going to be facing forward now, bringing ourselves into a box seated position. So if you're mirroring me, you'll have your right shin in front of you and the left is to the side. We're just going to sit tall and take the right arm out to the side, ready to do some side bends. So let's just gently reach over to the left, hold it there, come back again, breathe in. Exhale, up and over and just hold it there. Keep drawing that navel towards the spine. Now we're going to start to circle those arms. So forward and round, just mobilising the shoulder. Lovely. Now here, if you lean towards that left knee with your breastbone, widen out your arms, just hinge forward. You'll get a lovely stretch around the hip. Let's come back to seated. And then you're going to extend the left leg forward, just pop the right foot on the inside of the knee, take the left arm out in the direction of the right knee and the right arm is behind you with the elbows soft. Now we're going to breathe in to reach up and tuck the tailbone under to lift the hips. If you think you can go a little bit further back with that arm, absolutely fine, but reaching up vertically is absolutely fine as well. This does take a bit of confidence because there is of course some scapular strength involved with that back right arm. So go slowly and controlled. It's a really nice way to stretch out the front of the body there into those abs. Okay, let's try it all again on the other side. So just bring the left shin in front, move the right shin to the side. We're taking the left arm out, sitting nice and tall to go over to the right into our side bend. Okay, and then breathe in, reach up, over we go. We're going to hold it here. Again, draw that navel in and we start to circle the left arm now round. Nice and smoothly, using as much available space around the joint as we can. And now we're just going to hinge forward at the hip towards that right knee. Beautiful. Hold it there. That's it. Gently restack the spine. Okay, so we're going to take the right leg out, keep the left foot on the inside of the knee. We're using the right arm over towards the left knee. That back left arm is soft at the elbow. So we tuck the tailbone under and lift the hips as we gently reach up and back with that right arm. Just remember to keep the elbow soft at that supporting arm. Really stretching out the abs and into those hip flexors as well, that right hip. It's a lovely stretch, and once you get your confidence, it's a great one to do. Let's come down. We're going to bring ourselves into all fours, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's lengthen through the spine and draw the navel up towards the spine as well, so engaging that core. Let's breathe in, then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, press the floor away from you, nod your chin and hold it there. So in our flexed cat position, we're just going to gently rock forwards and backwards. So just increasing that stretch. Let's go the other way by lifting the tailbone, letting the rib cage sink down and lifting the chin, and again rocking gently forwards and backwards here. Good, just increasing that stretch. We're going to go into a half cobra next. Okay, so let's breathe in. As we exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Now lift the feet, start to slowly lower the pelvis down. Go as close as you can, don't force it, and press the floor away from you, open up the chest. Good. Any pinching or pain, of course, we don't do it. Let's lift the tailbone, slowly sink back into a shell stretch. We're going to do that a couple more times. So breathing in as you start to come up, tucking the tailbone under, gently lowering the pelvis as you press the floor away from you. Good, gently lift the tailbone, sit back to shell. We've got one more to do here. So it's all about keeping that tailbone tucked under as you lower the pelvis. And transitioning smoothly and carefully, always controlled. We sit back into our shell. Give those hips a sway from side to side as well. Now staying in the shell stretch, just take your left arm and thread it underneath the right shoulder. Just stretch the right arm a little bit further away from you, and if you keep your chest square to the floor and press the left arm very gently down, you'll feel a stretch around the left shoulder and around the arm. Good, let's swap sides, turning the right hand up and threading it underneath the left shoulder. Palm facing up, pressing that arm very gently down and taking the left arm further forward. So it's a really nice stretch for the shoulder. You might feel it around the back of the shoulder blades as well. We're coming back to shell stretch, gently rolling up into a kneeling position here. Pop the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers, sit up tall. Lovely. And then you're just going to reach those arms up, opening up the rib cage. Now, being very careful here, I'm hardly putting any pressure on my head at all, but the head is balancing on the floor. Just let the arms hang forward. You can lift your tailbone slightly. Remember, don't put any pressure on the head or neck, you're just balancing there. If you don't like that stretch, of course, you don't have to do it, but it stretches out the chest that bit more. Now reach forward with the arms, gently open the shoulder blades, reach forward and gently up. Good. Go a little bit further back if you can, but don't force it. And now just relax those arms, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Okay, let's move to legs then. Let's pop the left foot on the floor, relax your hands just before your knee and the thigh, and then you're just very gently going to lean forward into the knee. Keep that right leg lengthened behind you, and let's apply some Pilates principles. So drawing the navel in, crown of the head towards the ceiling, but sink the tailbone down. So stretching out the hip flexors on the right hand side. Hold it there for a second, but then pop the hands down. You're very gently going to tuck the toes under and lift the knee, keeping the pelvis low and walking the hands slightly forward. You're just going to slide forwards and backwards. So keep the pelvis low. You point your toes at the back to send you forward. Flex the ankle to send you backwards, and that'll give you a lovely calf stretch. So the back of the lower leg on that right side. Good. Bring the knee down, relax the foot. Coming back up and sitting very slowly back towards the heel, keeping that left leg lengthened. Now be careful with that stretch because this is for the hamstrings. Keep the ankle flexed. Try and keep the spine lengthened so the breastbone is lifted slightly. So it's more of a hinge at the hips. That will give you the better stretch. We're going to come back up and then turn this into pigeon pose. So take the left foot and place it over the right knee and then gently send that right leg back, coming down with the elbows and just relaxing into that. So that will basically stretch out the left hip and into the glutes. Good, breathe. Now we're just going to hold it for a second more, but then pop the hands down, tuck the toes under at the back, gently press yourselves up to all fours again. We're going to do the same things on the other side. Okay, so rolling up to kneeling, right foot down, relax your hands on your thigh just before the knee, and very gently lean forward, keeping that left leg lengthened now. So stretching out the hip flexors on the left hand side. Remember, draw the navel in towards the spine. And then you're going to pop your hands down, tuck the toes under at the back and very gently lift the knee. So we're keeping the pelvis low here. As we point the toes, we're sending ourselves forward. As we flex the ankle, we're going backwards. So stretching out the calf muscles of that left leg this time. Good. Just a couple more. Now we're very gently going to bring the knee down, release the toes. And we come back to that kneeling position, slowly going back towards the heel, flexing the right ankle, so feeling that stretch down the back of the right leg. Again, trying to keep the breastbone lifted so you're not just relaxing the body. That's what gives you the stretch. And then very gently back up. Take the right foot, try and cross it across the left knee and slide that left leg back as we go into our pigeon pose. So stretching out the right hip and into the glutes there. Good. Remember, any stretches that you don't like, just don't do them. There's plenty here. Brilliant. Up we come, tucking the toes under at the back, very gently coming back into all fours. We're going to walk the hands towards the knees and come back into a kneeling position. This next stretch looks a little bit scary, okay? So just maybe watch it the first time round. You're going to sit back on your heels, take hold of the left heel with the left hand and reach the right arm up. Then tuck the tailbone under, gently lift the hips, reach up towards the ceiling. Now, if you think you can reach further back, then you're going to really stretch out the right-hand side of the body. So into the obliques and into the hip flexors. Just hold it if you can, but gently start to come down, just taking the tailbone back to the heels. Other side then, okay? So right hand, right heel, left arm is going to reach up. We tuck the tailbone under, reach up, and slightly diagonally backwards. So that left arm is going the direction of the right heel. Good, stretching out that left side of the body. Very gently back down. Well done. Let's pop the hands on the floor, walk forward and very carefully come down into a prone position. Let's come onto the elbow. So elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms down and join the thumbs and forefingers together. Okay, gently press the floor away from you with your elbows, lift your tummy button and you want to have your feet towards the corners of the mat at the bottom. Back extensions, we breathe in, press into the floor and very gently lift ourselves up into a back extension. When we come down, you're just bringing the elbows down and stopping there, so try not to follow through with the rib cage. Remember, any pinching or pain here, we mustn't do it and we go slowly, always very controlled. So if something doesn't feel right, of course we don't do it. Good, just a couple more here, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. And then we're going to come all the way down, fingers interlaced, rest the forehead on the back of the hands, bring the feet and knees into about hip distance apart. Now you're just going to slide the left knee around towards the left shoulder and press the knee away from you. So this is going to stretch out your inner thigh. Really nice exercise. This is the sleeping pose. Just hold it there for a moment. And you're going to bring the leg back. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So gently draw the right knee around to the side, far as you can. Press the knee away from you. So sort of slide it away to really stretch out the inner thigh, the right side this time. Breathe. We're going to bring it home slowly and carefully. Now we're going to take hold of the left foot with the left hand, round about where your shoelaces would be. Keep the knees close together here and the pelvis facing forward. Just tuck your tailbone under and draw your navel towards the spine. This will stretch out the front of the thighs, okay, so quad stretch. Breathe. Then you're going to relax it. We'll do the same on the other side. So bending the right knee, taking hold of the foot with the right hand, round about where your shoelaces would be. Adding those Pilates principles by tucking the tailbone under, drawing the navel up. Keep the knees close together here and the pelvis facing the floor. You can relax that there. Hands under shoulders, very slowly and carefully. We're coming up into our all fours position to sit back again slowly into shell to stretch out those lower back muscles. While you're here, you can take your arms around to the left. Keep the tailbone down, you'll stretch out the right side of the body, maybe even into the right shoulder a bit and down the back of the arm. Slowly make your way over to the right now. Same again. Nice little stretch for the outside of the body. If you make your way back to center, you're going to come onto the hands and gently down onto our left side. So lengthen out that left arm, lengthen out the legs so they're in line with the body, but then bring the knees forward. And now you can take hold of your right foot with your right hand again. Bring the knee down, pop the heel behind your bottom, send the knee back as you draw your navel in and tuck the tailbone under to get your quad stretch again. Now you're going to bring the bottom arm around to the front. We're going to do a hamstring stretch next. So bring it round, let go of your foot and bring the knee towards the chest, taking hold of the ankle and then try to lengthen out the leg in front of you. Keep it parallel to the floor, try and keep your spine lengthened. We're then going to very gently roll onto our backs and bring ourselves into a happy baby pose. You will be off your mat here, I appreciate that. Okay, just try and relax into that. And then we're going to relax it down, come back onto our sides, and then we're going to come up onto our hands. So that left hand, that's it, good. Keep the knees bent, reach the right arm up, breathe in, exhale, push the floor away from you, lift your rib cage to lift the hips, and side bend over to the left. Let's stretch out, again, the outside of the body. We're very gently coming down and we're going to just swap sides. Okay, so back down onto the floor. So legs in line with the body, bottom arm lengthens out, keep the pelvis facing forward. We bend the knees so we can take hold of the left foot now with the left hand, pop the heel behind your bottom and bring that knee in line with the hip, tuck your tailbone under, draw the navel towards the spine and send the knee backwards until you can feel that stretch around the quadriceps, front of the thighs. Okay, here's the challenging part. Bring the knee forward, extend the leg out ahead of you. Holding the ankle or the back of the leg anywhere is fine. And then onto our backs into the happy baby pose again. Good, breathe, relax into it. Keep the head down as well. You can pop your feet onto the floor. That's it, back onto the side now, but onto the hand. Knees still bent, reach the left arm up. Lift the rib cage, push the floor away from you so we're coming up into this side bend, a little bit like the mermaid exercise. Lovely. And then very gently down. Good. Let's come back into seated tall, legs out in front. Pop the right foot over the left knee. Just pop your hands behind you for support and then bend the left knee, bringing the heel close to your body. Press the floor away from you and lift your breastbone. That will give you a really nice stretch around the right hip and into the glute. We're just going to hold that there for a moment. This exercise or stretch can be done in a supine position as well as seated. Just keep the ankle where it is, but lengthen out the left leg again. Take the left arm, pop the elbow on the outside of the right knee. That right arm is going to go behind you. You're looking over the right shoulder as you press your left elbow towards the knee. That's it, lift the breastbone to get the extra stretch. A bit like playing Twister, this one. Let's come back. Left ankle over the right knee. Draw the right foot towards the body and press the floor away from you, gently lifting the breastbone to really get that lovely stretch around the left hip and into the glute. Okay, so we're going to be keeping the left ankle where it is as we take the right leg out. But let's take the right arm, pop the elbow on the outside of the left knee, and then the left arm is behind us. We're pressing the elbow towards the knee, looking towards that left shoulder and lifting the breastbone. Really nice stretch for the hip, glute, and around the mid to lower back. Okay, staying seated, we're just going to take the legs out nice and wide and sit tall. So relaxing the shoulders, pop the fingertips down on the floor in front of you. We're going to be making a lovely C-curved spine. So we breathe in, exhale to engage the core, and start to slide the fingers forward as you lower the rib cage. And then you're going to hinge at the hips to slide forward. There's the stretch around the inner thigh. Very gently breathing in to restack the spine, sitting tall again. We're going to go again. So tummy button is in and up, dropping the rib cage, sliding forwards, then hinging at the hips. So we're rounding the spine first before we hinge at the hips. Lovely. Slowly restacking the spine. And one more. Breathe. Exhale. Tummy button in and up to keep the spine lengthened as you flex and slide. We breathe in to gently restack the spine. We're going to stay with the legs apart here, but flex the ankles and widen out the arms. We're going to turn this into the saw. So we turn the body to the right And gently round up the spine to reach the left fingers towards the right toes. Come back to center and do the same. Right fingers on the left toes. Keeping the pelvis down. So when you go into your side bend movement, we're not lifting either of the hips. We're keeping both sit bones in contact with the floor. We go slowly, stretching out the outside of the body in towards the hip. Good. Relax it down. Bring those knees together. Give the hip flexors a bit of a rest by just giving the knees a little bit of a hug. And then if you drop your knees out to the side, soles of the feet facing each other, take hold of the ankles and see if you can just draw your feet a bit closer in towards you. Lift the breastbone and sit tall. Relax it there. We're going to come into all fours and into a stretch called the squash tomato. So we start in all fours, but take the feet and place them on the outside of your mat, keeping your tailbone down. So we have knees bent, hands in line with the feet. And all we're going to do is gently lift the tailbone. Go slowly so you can stretch out the back of the legs. Keep the knees soft. Bring the tailbone down. Lift and lower. Go really slowly. Getting this stretch down the back of the legs. Keeping the feet in full contact with the floor. Okay. This will be the last time. You can come back down very gently onto your knees and walk yourselves into an all fours position. We're going to go into the cat and cow again. So breathing in, let's exhale, tuck the tailbone under, lift the tummy button, push the floor away from you, nod your chin. Now lean back towards the heels, lift the tailbone, let the ribcage sink down, come forward as you lift your head. And repeat. So every time you go backwards, you have your tailbone tucked under. We're in a flex position. When you come forward, you're in the extended position. Okay, hold it there. Keeping the pelvis still, just walk your hands around to the left so they're in line with the outside of the mat. Take a breath in, exhale, tuck your tailbone under and gently sit back towards the heel. So back into a shell stretch, but this time we're stretching out the right hand side of the body. You'll also feel this stretching out the shoulder. Let's come back. Walk the hands around to the right, keeping the pelvis still, facing the mat, tucking the tailbone under, and again sitting back towards the heels to stretch out the left side of the body and into the shoulder. Good. And relax into that for a few seconds before we come back and walk the hands back to center. Good, let's breathe in. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, sit back towards the heels and gently roll up to a kneeling position. That brings us to the end of the session. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like and think about subscribing so that you always get notifications of all my future workouts. Thank you very much. See you next time.